Metro Rail Corporation, our Honorable Coordinators, Professor Mohammad Masroor Alam Sahab, Dr. Mohammad Rehan Sadiq Sahab, both from Department of Civil Engineering. Very good morning again to all of you. In fact, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you. And I also welcome our guest speakers, our guests, other guests who have joined us, all the participants who have joined this program. This morning, we are conducting this program on underground space utilization. In fact, this is a sponsored program from All India Council of Technical Education under Atal Academy. And we have been interested in this honor to organize this program in this Department of Civil Engineering. The topic of this faculty development program is rightly chosen. It is need of the hour, that pressure on all the big cities is increasing day by day, caused by growth in the urban areas. It is an important factor in the future development of the infrastructures. The world's urban population, which was estimated as about 3 billion in 2003, is now expected to rise to 5 billion in 2030. And one of the key issues encountered in town planning of big cities is the management of land, space shortage, which warrants prioritization of urban space. Development of underground space in cities means efficient use of space to develop infrastructures, facilities underneath the cities in order to avoid surface congestion and environmental conflicts. Most of these cities are dying from within and are experiencing the sprawl in their periphery. This is especially on one hand with the static part of the town, meaning housing, office space, amenities and services, etc. And on the other hand, it's a dynamic part, that is the transport system, which facilitates an exchange between the different static elements and therefore fosters economic, social and cultural life. The use of underground space has offered solution to this problem in many ways. It has gained utmost importance in rejuvenation and redevelopment of the cities. The glaring examples from our own country are Calcutta Metro, Delhi Metro, Lucknow and Hyderabad Metro. In many other cities like Bombay, Bengaluru and Chennai also, we are hoping this in very recent years, and not to forge our own neighbor, that's Agra. We hope to have it in Aligarh also in the next decade, as Aligarh is going to be a full-fledged industrial town after becoming part of the defense corridor and being along dedicated freight corridor. However, challenges in front of civil engineers are the design of underground structures, which are subjected to complex situations, including earthquakes, and we have to establish the behavior of such structures and also give a rational design to these structures. Hence, the civil engineering fraternity and allied fields need to be ready to harp on this opportunity for their part of contribution. Regarding our own Department of Civil Engineering, this is established in 1942 and is constantly contributing to the cause of quality education and training with available well-qualified faculty and excellent laboratories, including state-of-the-art computing facilities here. This department offers a BTech course in civil engineering and also MTech in civil engineering with 4 specializations. It is structural engineering, hydraulic structures, environmental engineering, and geotechnical engineering. Now we are starting a new course in MTech Civil with specialization in earthquake engineering and disaster management from this year only. We have good number of publications in international journals and national journals, more than 170 in the last 5 years. Our department has a credit to be accredited by visit of NBA teams, and which is granted us a full-fledged accreditation for 5 years. And also our MTech programs have been accredited. We are going to have it for geotechnical program this year, hopefully. In this faculty development program, we are lucky enough to have eminent speakers from IITs and industries. We have our own alumni also joining as guest speakers, like Engineer S.K. Gupta. We have Suresh Sharma from DMRC New Delhi, Altaf Usmani from EAL, Shehzad Aziz Sahab, DMRC. And also eminent professors from IIT, Professor N.K. Samadhiya, K.S. Rao, Abhishek Kumar Sahab, and Professor Mohammad Ashraf Iqbal from IIT Roorkee. Other members who have joined us as participants also very well welcome. And I hope this particular faculty development program and others on the similar themes will help in capacity building. The participants need to understand the importance of underground space utilization, keeping in mind the sustainable and eco-friendly development. I welcome again all the speakers, participants, and thank all to grace this function this morning. I wish every success to this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Abdul Baqi Saab. Now, as coordinator of this program, I have the onus to introduce you this faculty development program, which we have got from All India Council of Technical Education under their program of ATAL, that is AICTE's Training and Learning Program. Let me share with you that ATAL FDP has made a world record of conducting hundreds of FDPs in record time. Our own FDP on underground space utilization is one of the programs which they have allotted to us. We have got one more program which will be in February on slightly different theme. I am thankful to AICTE. I am thankful to our principal for giving this opportunity to be with you. We have started our MTech Geotechnical Engineering just 3 years back, and we are trying to put in things which are very much related to the geotechnical engineering. And when we talk of geotechnical engineering, which deals mainly with the ground system, this underground space utilization comes immediately in our mind. And when we talk of underground space, we have two things in our mind. One is underground space creation, and another is underground space utilization. You see, for different kinds of mineral resources which we extract from our Mother Earth, we somehow create underground space. But they are not utilized. They are mostly left abandoned. But sometimes we go for purposely creating underground space to utilize it. And when we talk of underground space utilization, then it is the tunnel which comes in our mind immediately. Tunnels. Tunnels, if we think of construction of tunnels, it seems to be very, very difficult, and it is really difficult. But perhaps it has never been a boring or dull job to create tunnels when we see thousands of tunnels all around. tunnels have been created by human beings from time immemorial using spoons to hammer, using blasting to drilling, and using rock borers to present day tunnel boring machines. And humanity has been able to dig long, deep, and even winding tunnels. May it be 215-meter deep hand dig Kimberley hole in South Africa for the quest of shining pebble that is diamond, or may it be a drill hole more than 12 kilometers long in Kola Peninsula at the border of Russia and Norway, created by Russians to reach the mantle, crossing the whole crust. So, humanity has gone into the Earth system not only to fetch different kinds of mineral resources, but also to create a space previously as hideouts, then as tombs, then as burial ground, and later on as drainage system for water supply, for sewers, canals, and canals, and finally as element of transport. When these tunnels as an element of transport started getting larger and larger and bigger, then the knowledge of ground condition has become of paramount importance because of different kinds of difficult ground conditions. It was the industrial revolution in Europe in 18th century due to the availability of the coal reserves which led to the development of railway system there, and to move from one country to another country in the hilly and mountainous Europe, lot of tunnels were created. And our very famous engineer Carl Terzaghi, who is known as father of soil mechanics, has actually worked more on rocks as compared to the soil. And after working for 30 years for constructing tunnels in Swiss Alps, he wrote the very first book on engineering geology in 1926. And in 1947, he came up for the very first time the engineering classification of rock mass, and he has classified 9 different classes of rocks, and for each class he has given the support mechanism. Later in Europe, then in America, then in Japan, then in China, because of urban sprawl and congestion due to high population, underground railway system was created in almost all the big cities, and they have called it tube rail or subway rail. Even today, we have tunnels as long as 57.3 kilometers in Switzerland through Swiss Alps, known as Godard Base Tunnel, which is having 2 kilometer depth at one place. Similarly, we have almost equal length, that is 57-kilometer long Saikan Tunnel in Japan, which is not only moving on under the ground on land, but also under the seabed. So the marvels have been created in terms of underground tunnel system. In India also, we have a very famous tunnel which we are hearing from our childhood days, that is Jawahar Tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir, which used to be closed whenever we have heavy snow fall. But apart from that, we have a marvel recognized by United Nations also, almost 100 tunnels along 96-kilometer route of from Kalka to Shimla. 100 tunnels. And very rarely we have seen that these tunnels were blocked by snowfall or landslides. So we have got many number of tunnels in India also, and the Konkan Railway has given the indigenous technology for construction of tunnel along Konkan Railway. And later on, we have got tunnels all over India, especially when we started Calcutta Metro, followed by Delhi Metro, other metros in many different cities, including Lucknow and Hyderabad. In last 5 years also, we have got many famous tunnels dedicated to the nation, that is Chennai Nashri Tunnel and the Atal Tunnel, which is on our flex, the picture which you are seeing, inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India on 3rd October 2020. So, lot of work has been done, and today, all over India, all cities which are metropolitan cities, they are somehow going for the metros. Though maximum part of metros are elevated, but there is a significant length of metros which are under the ground. And it is for this underground construction technology we have to build up our capacity. We have to train manpower. We have to have more and more of engineers and scientists to be part of this grand work. Whenever we move in any of the metro, may it be Delhi, may it be Hyderabad, may it be Lucknow, we are always full of pride. We are always full of pride. Why? Because our engineers and scientists, they have made it like that. They have made it like that. So this FDP on underground space utilization will definitely be helpful to all the participants, and we will learn a lot. Me as a coordinator and my fellow coordinator, Dr. MD Rehan Sadiq, we thought to have this topic because we ourselves want to learn from those people who are in the thick and thin of this underground space utilization. There is one more dimension of underground space utilization, that is strategic storage. Perhaps we are developing 3 or 4 strategic storage system in South India, in Gujarat, in Vishakhapatnam for storage of oil. So that is another dimension. So we have tried to put in resource persons to cover all these different issues from academia and from the organizations which are involved in the construction of underground space. So I wish that our participants will be benefited by this workshop from our experts, which are from all the corners of India, from different IITs, and so are our participants, which are also from almost all the corners of India, and at least tens of them are from abroad. So I wish that we will be able to deliver to you, and I wish that our expert will give the state of the art information on the underground space utilization. Thank you. Now I will request our Dean, Professor Parvez Mustajab Sahab, to address the participants and us also. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Masroor. A very good morning to all of you. I would like to welcome our chief guest, Professor Tariq Mansoor, the Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. The guest of honor, Professor Mohammad Sufyan Beg, the Principal of Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology. Mr. S.K. Gupta, Project Director, Metro Rail Corporation, currently on deputation to Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation, and also our alumnus, Professor Abdul Baqi, Chairperson, Department of Civil Engineering, Professor Muhammad Masroor Alam, the coordinator, and his co-coordinator, Mr. Rehan Sadiq. Then many of the resource persons eminent resource persons from various IITs, IIT Roorkee, IIT Delhi, and other places, and also from Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, and also the participants who are present. So, on behalf of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, I would like to welcome you all to this very important faculty development program, which is being organized in the Department of Civil Engineering, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. The country currently is witnessing a rapid phase of infrastructural growth across the length and breadth. Smart cities are being developed, and one of the major components of these cities is a clean and smart technology for transportation, like metro rail, green buses, rail network, and so many other things. Professor Masroor Alam has highlighted many things. One of the things that I would like to highlight is that underground space utilization also matters, where we have very strategic security issues. For example, we have our defense systems, which needs to be protected from enemy, and to be buried under the underground spaces, and should be kept away from the eyes of the enemy, and many other similar kind of laboratories and high-end nuclear installations, and he has already mentioned the oil and gas reserves and so many other things. So this is a very important area which perhaps seems to be unexplored at the moment, but I think the issues are already tagged and things are already moving in the right direction. The current smart city projects are being implemented in the areas which are already overcrowded. The cities are already there, a lot of urbanization is there, a lot of vehicular traffic is there. We have to waste a lot of time in the cities because of the traffic jams, and a lot of manpowers are lost. As a compensation for this, one can have a kind of metro rail project which is being implemented. It's a wonderful project which has been implemented in Delhi and other places across the country. At many corridors, this metro runs underground, and but making it possible is a great challenge. I think this area of civil engineering is altogether different with the conventional civil engineering that we are having. It's a specialized area that needs to be addressed. Today I have seen various experts who are going to speak upon this, and various topics are being covered. They will try to discuss all the aspects of this underground space utilizations, and many more challenges that are there. They need to be explored further and solutions found. The participants, I'm sure, will be able to benefit a lot with the kind of exposure that they will get, and they will ultimately be able to translate this exposure to their students, so that we have a good amount of manpower available in the area of the underground space utilization. we need specialized manpower in this case, which need to know how to go for drilling, where the drilling is required, what is the quality of the soil, how deep we have to go, what is the kind of oxygen levels that we need to supply inside about 10 meter or 20 meter deep, how to protect the seepages, how to protect the flooding, how to protect it. So there are so many areas that needs to be explored, and I'm sure over these 5 days, the discussions will definitely highlight all those areas and make our people know what are the solutions for these things. In the end, I would like to once again congratulate the organizers of this program. It's a very timely program, and I hope that all the participants will benefit from the program. And in fact, I would like to, in the end, I would also like to thank the resource persons who are going to spend a lot of time over here and discussing all these issues. I wish all the success to this faculty development program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The pertinent issues you have highlighted related to underground specialization. Now I will request our principal, Professor M. Sufyan Beg Saab, to shed some light and his views on this program.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is the chief guest of this function, although he is busy somewhere else for a very important selection committee meeting. Distinguished Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, guest of honor, and another guest of honor who is our own alumnus, Engineer S.K. Gupta Sahab, Chairman of the Department, Professor Baqi, Abdul Baqi Sahab, and Professor Masroor Alam Sahab, other distinguished fellow faculty members, resource persons, delegates, and dear participants. It is my humble duty to welcome each one of you to this faculty development program in the Department of Civil Engineering primarily, and into the Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology, which is a constituent engineering college of the Aligarh Muslim University. This is a very prestigious FDP, Faculty Development Program, sponsored by AICTE and named as Atal FDP Program. So a lot of FDPs have already taken place in this series. Our university have also done quite a few Atal FDPs already. This is very appropriate that this FDP has come to the Aligarh Muslim University, who is celebrating 100 years of its existence as the university. Although as an institution of learning, we have been around since 1875. We started as the Muhammadan Anglo-Oriental College, and then in 1920, we became a full university. So that way 2020 and 2021 has been our centenary year. So it's very appropriate that this faculty development program has come to our university. This university, as you all know, is one of the largest residential universities in the whole world, because like 20,000 students, they are residing on campus. And then we have the education right from nursery to postdoc in our university. We boast of 7 high schools, including a school for visually challenged students, 2 senior secondary schools for boys and girls exclusively, and then the high schools they have also been graduated to become the senior secondary schools. We have 14 faculties, 100 plus teaching departments. So that way it's a huge university living up to the expectations of a university of such a high historical standing. We have proudly produced 2 Bharat Ratnas from our university, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Dr. Zakir Hussain. We have produced 8 Padma Vibhushans. We have produced 27 Padma Bhushan awardees and 36 Padma Shri awardees from our university. if I talk about the alumni of my engineering college, then Zafar Iqbal, who was the Olympic gold medalist in hockey, he has graduated from this very college. Professor D.P. Agarwal, who had been the chairman of Union Public Service Commission. Then Mansoor Ahmad, who is the general manager, Airport Authority of India. Anubhav Sinha, noted film director. Zafar Alam, who is the ex-MLA. Then Khushbu Mirza of the Chandrayaan team, Chandrayaan fame. Then the list is pretty long, including like Tahir Madraswala, who was the president and CEO of Open Silicon in the Silicon Valley. Amir Qutub, he is one of the young Turks who's doing very good in Australia. He's an entrepreneur. And then let me also include in this list our guest of honor today, Engineer S.K. Gupta, who has proudly graduated from this very university. So talking briefly about our college, we have 11 different departments of studies, civil, electrical, and mechanical engineering departments. They are offering BTech as well as BE evening degrees along with MTech and PhD programs. Electronics, computer, chemical, petroleum studies, they are offering BTech, MTech, and PhD programs. Architecture is offering B.Arch and M.Arch. There are 3 support departments in applied physics, applied chemistry, and applied mathematics. They are also offering MTech, MPhil, MSc, and PhD programs. All are UG courses. They are accredited by NBA. We run 7 UG programs. They're all accredited by NBA for 5 years. And they were accredited for 5 years in 2009 also. So that way, this is our second accreditation that we have achieved for all our UG programs successively. And then we have many PG programs. All the departments, they are offering PG programs, particularly about civil engineering. Professor Abdul Baqi has also briefed you. So this is one of our strong departments in which all the PG programs, they have already been accredited for 5 years. So that way, we are living up to these standards. We ran the TechIP 2 phase and we got a funding of 15 crores and we were so successful. We were the top 5 performers. We were given TechIP 3 as a mentor institute now. So under that, we have already received a grant of about 8 crores and that may still go up. There are many new courses that we have started recently. BTech in food technology, we are starting from this year. MTech in earthquake engineering has already been talked about. MTech in biomedical engineering, MTech in artificial intelligence, MTech in material sciences, MTech in robotics and automation, MTech in geotechnical engineering, MTech in renewable energy resource engineering, and MSc in applied mathematics. These are the new courses that we have added to our already long list of courses. So with this brief background, I wish to emphasize that this is a very timely organization of the FDP and a very right place to organize an FDP of such a repute at such a reputed college at such a historical university. So I wish all the participants are able to gain to the fullest from this FDP. And this is an online FDP. So I also invite all of you to visit our university when things open up and try to look for yourself what kind of activities and what kind of beautiful campus we have, green, lush green campus and the culture that we post about. So there's so much to be talked about. So over the next 5 days, I wish you that you have a very fruitful participation in this program. The experts will be talking about the underground space utilization. So you learn from those experts and also we look forward to welcome you to our campus whenever things improve. So with this, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity and I wish all the best to this FDP. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor M.M. Sufyan Beg Sahab, for your kind words. Now I will request our guest of honor for today's program, for today's function, Engineer S.K. Gupta Sahab, to enlighten us on this very issue of underground space creation and utilization. Engineer S.K. Gupta Sahab.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab, Honorable VC, Professor Sufyan Beg Saheb, Principal, Zakir Hussain College, Professor Parvez Saheb, Dean Faculty, Professor Abdul Baki Saheb, Chairperson, Department of Civil Engineering, Professor Mohammad Mansoor Alam Saheb, and Dr. Rehan Siddiqui Saheb, Coordinator, all distinguished members of the faculty and from universities and colleges attending this program. My heartfelt gratitude to Professor Baki Saheb for inviting me and extending this privilege. My heartfelt gratitude to Professor Sufyan Beg Saheb for all the kind words that he just spoke. As a student of this renowned institution, I never imagined that one day I would be standing amongst my professors through video conferencing though. This is an absolute honor for me and a humbling experience. The topic of underground space utilization in the faculty development program is a really very important and pertinent subject at this point of time when the society is craving for large infrastructure works to support the growth of the economy and also to cater to their needs and expectations. Big cities are falling short of in providing public services which are affecting quality of life and quality of service. Use of underground space is therefore finding more and more uses in congested cities and also in other part of the country for different reasons, different purposes. Let me run through a small presentation to make a few points. Some of these points are already flagged by senior professors. I'll upload a presentation and then run through it. Is that visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
और फिर उसके बाद
Yes, visible.
इस मुंह से इससे जाएगी
Yes, the photographs used in these presentations are from our work that we are doing in Mumbai. So with increased investment in economy and related infrastructure development, the country has transformed into one of the fastest growing market for tunnel and underground space construction in the world. Number of sectors such as railways, roads, metro rail, hydropower, water supply, and sewerage etc. have tunneling requirements to service their functional needs or to meet topographical challenges. Other than tunneling, uses of underground space for petroleum caverns, hydropower, underground metro stations, defense, and for other infrastructure purposes also are increased, as rightly pointed out by the professors. This is the level of investment that is expected in different sectors in next few years. And if you see these values, these are huge values: hydro, irrigation, railways, roads and highway, metros, water and sewage. And not all infrastructure works are actually indicated here. Let's say petroleum, it's not indicated here. Defense is not indicated here. Another statistics in terms of how much tunnel length is being done in different different sectors. Irrigation, how many kilometers? Railways, hydro. The point is to say that the quantum is huge, the scope is huge. At international arena, tunnels are being constructed in challenging environment, the challenging terrain and geologies, and also underseas. And these were, Gotthard Base Tunnel was flagged earlier, Atal Tunnel was flagged earlier. The Channel Tunnel is another example. A tunnel in the seabed in Turkey, Istanbul, connecting the Asian and the European part of the city is another example. There's another tunnel at the seabed in Hong Kong. So these are very challenging works that the society is taking up, the world is taking up for to meet its requirement. Sorry. Coming to the urban specific requirements, rapid rate of population growth and economic development in the city is resulting into enormous challenges, as rightly flagged earlier, which requires both optimal and integrated solutions to meet the needs of economic growth, and at the same time protect environment and sustainable development. These are also becoming very important points these days. The development should not be at the cost of environment or should not be at the cost of sustainable development. Urban space utilization is increasing to mitigate congestion on surface. Underground metro lines are being made in congested areas to supplement transport needs. Delhi Metro is one example. Mumbai, our project, also is an example. Tunnels are also being planned and constructed for civic utilities. And underground space is also being created for as mundane activity as underground parking or as parking. Underground works are sometimes inevitable either due to space constraints, strategic requirements, or for aesthetic reasons like a transport corridor in a heritage area. Now, talking about future, something hypothetical sometimes, maybe how the world is thinking. While developed cities like Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo are going deeper and preparing way for new urban form. The rise in e-commerce and parcel shipping would also require proportional growth in cargo transportation in the cities. In fact, in some forum, it is being discussed that a technology-enabled subterranean logistics system spanning across the entire city could become a reality. Hyperloop is another very futuristic project coming up. So no doubt that visionary businessman like Elon Musk is entering into intercity transport in tunnel. He has established a company named the Boring Company. I believe we in India could probably be following similar footsteps, though with a time lag, as the economy grows to 5 trillion and beyond. We in Mumbai Metro are constructing a 33.5 kilometer fully underground metro corridor, which is called Kolaba-Bandra SEEPS, to address travel needs of Mumbai city. In fact, other projects in Mumbai are also quite interesting. A part of Coastal Road project is a large dia road tunnel that will navigate topographical constraints. It's partly below sea. The Mumbai is also thinking of creating underground sponge to store rainwater during heavy rainfall on the lines of Tokyo to avoid flooding in low-lying area. That happens quite frequently in Mumbai. Thought processes of Mumbai city as reflective of the compulsions and necessities of any mega urban city to make best use of underground space. The technologies that are being used are conventional drill and blast method that is already there, which is dominant in execution of tunnel construction projects, particularly in Himalayan regions and Western Ghats. Now the new technologies like tunnel boring machine and also the upgraded versions of tunneling, new Austrian tunneling methods are gaining traction, particularly in urban areas. And also the cut and cover method for creating space. This is from our project. Now, some point of caution which was earlier flagged is critical design and supervision demand in underground space is still dominated by international consultants and engineers, and also the design firms. To a large extent, even though the bulk still comes from domestic contractors, consultants, and engineers, but the key knowledge resource is still the foreigner. There is a huge requirement of experts and skill sets in the country to gain expertise and self-sufficiency in this sector, which is already flagged. And that's the purpose of this faculty development program, to make people aware and sensitize them to the need, and to expose them to the size of the project that is beforehand. And internationally, leading design experts and researchers in the field are actually academicians associated with universities. The same need to be replicated in India. So I would urge universities and the faculty to take up more and more research and consultancy projects in the field of underground works, and gain expertise and confidence to deal with the difficult geology and requirement of complicated projects. So thank you very much for your attention. I wish a success to this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You have enlightened us, and we foresee your next lecture. It will be very interesting because you are into thick and thin of the system. And I would like to ask you that what the basalts, the challenges are posed by basalt, which you have in Mumbai Metro, because it is thought to be the strongest rock. It may be offering you challenges in terms of boring, but it may be saving you in terms of support design.
Absolutely. But if you have power in your hand which can circumvent the difficulty, that is the power with designers.
Yes.
So, so you design, you foresee, you conceive systems that will deal with challenge, and then you have a easier run.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your very enlightening talk at the beginning itself. We hope to have much insight and information from you in your next lecture. Now, before I ask my co-coordinator, Dr. Muhammad Rehan Sadiq Sahab, I would like to tell you that our VC Sahab has sent the good wishes for the smooth conduct of this program. Actually, he was the person who has encouraged us to take up new aspect of civil engineering. In fact, he has suggested to open a new MTech in earthquake engineering and disaster management, which we have started from this very session. So our Vice Chancellor has always supported us, but he could not make it today because of very important General Section Committee which we have to do. So I am thankful to him also for his constant encouragement. Now I will request my co-coordinator to please vote of thanks. After vote of thanks, we will have University Tarana and then National Anthem.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to Almighty for making today's occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab, for encouraging us to take, talk, and research in modern issues of civil engineering. Then I would like to thank our guest of honor, Engineer Shri Subodh Kumar Gupta ji, Director Projects currently from Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation, who, despite of his busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion. And I'll also express my heartful thanks to Professor Parvez Mustajab Saab, Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Mirza Muhammad Sufyan Beg Saab, Principal, Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology, for their enormous cooperation in organizing this event. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Abdul Baqi Sahab, Chairperson, Department of Civil Engineering, for facilitating his support and guidance from the application of this FDP up to this inaugural program. He was sitting with us even on the Sunday yesterday and encouraging us about all these aspects. I also like to thank the coordinator, Professor Muhammad Masroor Alam sir, for his consistent and diligent efforts for the conduction of this faculty development program. At last, but not least, I would like to thank the organizing committee, the teachers, and the staff members of the Department of Civil Engineering, Aligarh Muslim University. I should not forget to thank our student team and technical team who put their last complete 2 days in arranging this FDP. I would like to appreciate the zest and zeal of the all respected participants of this faculty development program who showed their much interest in this specialized topic. Thank you again, all of you, for making this event successful.